Today, we discuss escaping Oil Town. Ready? The truck arrived at Ammo Farm. The crowd gathered, thinking food was coming, like seeing Santa. In return, all baked bullets will be loaded. The factory manager told Jack Oil Town's a mess due to Dimon. What a hassle. He suggested old Joe deal with them, giving Jack his desired cool gun. They headed to Oil Town, with the manager asking Fury to take a break. Fury hesitated, dreaming at night of his mom bullied by Dimon again. Call a therapist. In a half-dream state, he stabbed at Jack. Jack knew Fury sought revenge. The next day in Oil Town, they found chaos. People were drooling, going crazy for food when the truck arrived. Thankfully, soldiers stopped them. Dimon, the mastermind, was directing the chaos. What a big mouth. Seeing his mother's killer, Fury trembled and pointed to the gun, but Jack blocked his view. Smart move. Fury knew if they killed Dimon now, they both might die. The brainwashed crowd was getting restless, and Dimon felt the heat too, worried he couldn't keep control over them, so he instructed the two to quickly return to report to old Joe. Soon, the crowd started rioting, plunging Oil Town into chaos. The two quickly fled in the truck, but Fury was stabbed by incoming rioters. Fortunately, they narrowly escaped, and Jack carefully bandaged Fury's wounds. Their brotherly bond continued to strengthen because of it. Hearing the news, old Joe's crew had mixed views. Most favoured attacking Oil Town, but the Stone Lady disagreed, fearing its destruction. It would be a heavy loss. Old Joe decided to eliminate Dimon's tribe at any cost, so he sent Jack back to Ammo Farm tomorrow. Bring back all weapons and ammunition for an all-out attack on Oil Town. Fury stood before old Joe, unrecognised. Poor guy. At night, Jack stitched Fury's wounds, saw Fury's map, promising to bring him home personally. As the sole friend in this apocalyptic world, Fury showed the seed of hope, and they embraced, growing closer as brothers. The next day, Jack and the others headed to Ammo Farm, but stopped on the way to move all supplies to a cart. This was for Fury. He urged him to seize the chance, head home quickly, lest more trouble arise. However, at Ammo Farm, things were more complicated. The atmosphere was eerie. No one was in sight after the convoy entered. Jack noticed a dog by the side with a foot in its mouth, and only then did he realize Ammo Farm had been taken over. What a bummer. Fury quickly turned the car around and escaped through the gate. Otherwise, escape would have been impossible. Quite a close call. Facing these enemies, Jack felt overwhelmed, but Fury backed him up. Together, they temporarily dealt with the enemies. At this moment, Fury wanted Jack to abandon the truck and flee with him, but seeing pursuers so far, Jack hurriedly fired a green flare to delay them. However, he had just taken a few steps before stopping. This time, he was no longer that helpless man. He had transformed into Fury returned with the 98 to assist, seeing Dimon hide behind a chimney, too scared to show himself. Meanwhile, Jack was in the thick of battle, while Dimon seized the opportunity to grab a rocket launcher. Soon after, witnessing his lover being bullied, Jack charged straight at Dimon. Jack crashed into the chimney with Dimon. Fury emerged from the dirt, leapt on a bike, startling everyone. Dimon watched them slip away in disbelief. On the way, Fury told Jack what he meant. He just said one line, which was such a slap. Dimon watched them leave. Fury showed Jack the address on his arm, saying they could find paradise by following the map. How beautiful. However, things don't go as planned. Dimon chased with his crew, but their cars couldn't outrun his off-road vehicle. Using his advantage, Dimon stepped on the gas and flipped their small car over, such a cowboy move. At this moment, they were like clowns. To punish, Dimon tied Fury to a hoist first instead of killing them. He made Fury watch Jack being dragged, toyed with till death. Then it was Fury's turn for punishment. However, when Dimon reached behind the car, he was stunned to find that Fury had cut off his own arm to escape. They quickly drove after him, and Fury rode the motorcycle with one hand, charging through the flying dust like a madman. Eventually, Fury collapsed from exhaustion, and old Joe's men saw this. Even Max was stunned. In a daze, Fury woke up to find himself in a slave pit and hurriedly declared his identity to the soldiers outside. At this moment, old Joe noticed smoke rising from Oil Town, and the crowd was debating whether to attack. Smart Fury joined the conversation. He said this was all part of Dimon's scheme to use the divide and conquer tactic to stall for time. Meanwhile, Dimon doused old Joe's castle area with gasoline. Seeing the team exit, he and his men attacked. Old Joe's men promptly fired a signal flare. After receiving the message, old Joe's crew flanked Dimon and kicked off a 40-day desert battle. In the end, Dimon's forces were nearly gone. Fury crafted a mechanical armor time for his entrance. He shaved his head clean and hopped into a battle vehicle. The Fury Goddess was finally unleashed. Damon, having been beaten up badly, felt like a frightened bird, seeing Fury hot on his tail. Damon split his men into 3. In the sandstorm, Fury couldn't identify the real Damon and had to speed up the chase. Eventually, Fury caught the convoy, crashed his bike, then charged at Damon's car. As it turned out, the motorcycle driver was an old guy who threw out something to block Fury's view. Thankfully, Fury hit the brakes just in time. He quickly pressed the gas, broke free from the quicksand, and turned towards another vehicle. Fury reached the highest point, and in the distance saw what looked like Damon firing a shot. The man fell, realizing it wasn't his target. The real Damon fled into the dust storm in distress. After a night, Damon slept in a parachute tent. When he lifted his canteen, he found it cut. Unlucky.